Your PC won't boot. No desktop, no safe mode, just a black screen and a sinking feeling. For years, the fix meant hunting for a USB stick, downloading a multi gigabyte ISO, and praying the installer still recognized your Wi Fi card. Microsoft is testing something that flips that entire story. It is called Cloud Rebuild, and it installs a full, clean version of Windows 11 straight from the cloud, even when the copy on your disk is broken beyond repair. Here's why that matters more than another reset button. Cloud Rebuild is a Windows 11 recovery feature that pulls a complete, up to date Windows image from Microsoft's cloud servers and writes it onto your machine. No separate installation media, no bootable USB you had to prepare on a second computer. The point is simple. Give the device a completely fresh install when local files are damaged, missing, or so corrupted that Windows will not start at all. Existing Reset This PC tools can already download Windows from the cloud, but they still lean on pieces of the OS that may already be dead. Cloud Rebuild is built to work when those pieces are gone. Think about the recovery tools most people already know. Reset This PC can keep your files or wipe them, and it even offers a cloud download of Windows. That works when the operating system is still healthy enough to launch the reset path. The failure mode is the one that hurts. Damaged system files, a missing recovery partition, a bootloader that refuses to load. Suddenly, the friendly reset button is unavailable, and you are back to creating install media by hand. USB installers bring their own friction, the right ISO, the right tool to flash it, and then a scavenger hunt for network and storage drivers the moment setup finishes. Cloud Rebuild exists because that chain breaks too often. So, how does Cloud Rebuild actually run? It starts from the Windows recovery environment, WinRE, the small rescue system that can load even when the main OS will not. From there, the device contacts Windows Update, downloads a clean, compatible Windows image, and rebuilds the system disk. After the process, you land in the out-of-box experience, the same first boot setup you see on a brand new PC. If the machine is enrolled with Windows Autopilot and managed by Intune, it can reconnect and pull policies and apps again. The mental model is not repair what is broken. It is replace the OS with a known good cloud image, then start clean. Here is the part that feels almost unfairly convenient. Cloud Rebuild does not stop at the Windows image. It also brings down device-specific drivers for your hardware, so you are not stuck hunting manufacturer downloads after the reinstall. That means networking, storage, chipset pieces that used to turn a successful reinstall into an afternoon of driver roulette. On the experience side, you skip configuring a bootable USB and skip wrestling with complex ISO files. One recovery path, cloud-sourced image, drivers included, designed for the worst day when Windows itself will not boot. Let's walk the rebuild path the way a technician would. First, you get into the Windows recovery environment, often by interrupting a failed boot a few times or choosing advanced startup from a still working Windows install, or booting recovery media that still lands you in WinRE. Inside WinRE, you start Cloud Rebuild. The device checks that recovery is healthy, finds a network path, and reaches out to Windows Update for a matching Windows 11 image. Next comes the download and apply phase. The cloud image is written to the system disk, and device-specific drivers ride along so the machine can talk to its own hardware after the wipe. When apply finishes, the PC reboots into OOBE, language, region, account, the usual first run screens. Nothing from the old install is assumed to survive. If something fails mid-flight, WinRE can surface error codes and logs live under paths like the Panther setup logs and rebuild logs for anyone who needs to troubleshoot. The sequence is deliberate. Recover, connect, download, apply, restart clean. Before you treat this as a magic undo button, know the catches. Cloud Rebuild is destructive. It reformats the system disk and removes local files, accounts, apps, and settings. Unlike Reset This PC, there is no Keep My Files path. You also need a healthy Windows recovery environment, an internet connection, Ethernet or WPA2 personal Wi-Fi, and hardware that meets Windows 11 requirements, including TPM. The PC maker must have put a usable networking driver into WinRE, or the cloud download never starts. Think of it as a last resort rebuild, not a casual refresh. Back up first, or accept that the disk comes back empty by design. A clear comparison makes the design choice obvious. Put three options on the table: classic USB install media, reset this PC with cloud download, and cloud rebuild. USB media works offline and gives full control, but you must build the stick on another machine, keep ISOs current, and still chase drivers afterward. Reset This PC is convenient when Windows still boots. It can keep files if you choose, and Cloud Download saves you from local install files. Yet it depends on a healthy enough OS and recovery stack. When those are damaged, Reset simply is not there. Cloud Rebuild assumes the worst case: main OS dead, local files untrusted. It needs network and WinRE. It always wipes the system disk, and it pulls a fresh image plus drivers from the cloud. So the trade is intentional: convenience and completeness for unbootable machines in exchange for a destructive online-only recovery. Pick the tool that matches how broken the PC actually is. Right now, Cloud Rebuild is in preview for Windows 11 insiders. Microsoft is testing it ahead of general availability, and some features, UX details, and command line options may still change. For IT teams, the headline is not only the local recovery path. Microsoft has said remote initiation from an enterprise endpoint management solution, such as Microsoft Intune, will arrive in a later release. That matters in a help desk world. Today, you still need physical access to kick it off from WinRE or an elevated prompt. Tomorrow, a remote rebuild could become part of the standard playbook for unbootable managed devices. Until general availability, treat it as evaluation software on non-production machines. Picture 3 real days this feature is built for. Scenario 1: a home laptop after a botched update. Windows loops on a recovery screen. You have no spare USB, and the only other computer in the house is a phone. If WinRE still has network drivers and you can join Wi-Fi, Cloud Rebuild becomes the path that does not require manufacturing install media first. Scenario 2: a retail or kiosk PC in a store. Local accounts are locked down, the disk is encrypted for the business, and a power event corrupted boot files. Staff need a known good image without shipping a technician with a toolbox of ISOs. Scenario 3: a managed corporate notebook. Today, Cloud Rebuild still needs someone at the keyboard in WinRE. Tomorrow, with remote initiation through Intune, an admin could trigger a rebuild for a device that will not boot into the full OS. Then autopilot and policies repave the experience. Same feature, different stakes: consumer rescue, frontline recovery, and eventual fleet-scale rebuild. Zoom out for a moment. Cloud Rebuild is not a random gadget. It sits inside Microsoft's broader push for Windows resiliency. Fewer dead ends when software goes wrong, faster return to a trustworthy state, and less dependence on physical media that people lose or never create. Pair that with Autopilot and Intune, and you see the enterprise story. A wiped device is not the end of management. After OOBE, a registered Autopilot device can re-enroll, pull configuration, and reinstall the apps the business already defined. The cloud is doing double duty. First as the source of the OS image and drivers, then as the source of identity and policy. For consumers, the win is simpler: a last resort factory fresh Windows without hunting manufacturer recovery partitions that may no longer exist. For organizations, the win is a standardized recovery narrative that ends in a managed, compliant PC again. Resiliency here means when local state cannot be trusted, start over from services you can trust. If this sounds familiar, it should. Apple has offered internet recovery on Macs since 2011, a way to reinstall Mac OS over the network without a USB stick. The platforms are not the same. Apple controls both hardware and software, so the driver landscape is narrower. Windows has to serve thousands of PC designs from many manufacturers. Still, Cloud Rebuild moves Windows closer to that cloud first recovery model. Less media, less driver chaos, a clean image when the local install is beyond saving. The takeaway is straightforward. When Windows is damaged or missing, you may no longer need a second PC and a flash drive. You need a working recovery environment, a network path, and the willingness to wipe the disk for a truly fresh start. That is Cloud Rebuild. Windows recovery rebuilt for the cloud era.